They start pumping them up and getting pressures, and that data gives them some information that they need. And then they go another place and they do the ultrasound, the thing with the probe, and has the slickery stuff on it, and they probe all around. So the right side of my carotid artery, you have two carotid arteries in your neck, right, and that go to your brain. Well, one of mine is 100% blocked. It's a lost cause. It has been for a year. It's a goner. The left side is pretty open, and it's doing fine, and you're fine with one, no problem, as long as it stays open. So he just tracks year after year to make sure there's not a problem there. It's not building up, or there's not a problem there. And with what he's seeing now, that he has, I guess, 3 or 4 years of data with my lifestyle changes, my diet changes, my exercising, everything I've done, it's not gotten worse. It's the same. So he says it's unlikely that I will ever have to have any kind of procedure or surgery or anything, that I'm likely to be fine for the rest of my life, as long as I keep making good decisions about, what I eat and exercise, my lifestyle. I'm good with that. And so my legs, here's the amazing thing. If you go back, my surgery was in 2022 when there was no detectable pulse in my ankles. I was very close to needing both of my legs amputated. Funny things were happening, when human tissue does not get blood flow, when it doesn't get oxygen, bad things start happening. It turns colors, and you know the deal. That's where I was at that breaking point. And I had already been turned down a couple of years earlier by a vascular surgeon. Said he couldn't help me. He told me go on down the road, nothing he could do for me. And thank goodness there was a doctor I saw in Brenham, actually a physician's assistant, that encouraged me since I had quit. So when I first saw a vascular surgeon to try to get some help, I was still smoking, I was morbidly obese, I was just doing none of the right things. And after I quit smoking, my physician assistant told me that's maybe a game changer. I encourage you to go back. Don't give up. Your ability, your mobility, your ability to walk, having your legs. Well, there's a lot depends on, it's possible. Maybe they can help you. You should try. You should try one more time. So he convinced me. I had pretty much given up and was really depressed, and oh my gosh, I found my sister. She had passed and been gone for more than a week, and I found her in bed in her apartment, and just a lot of things were not going well. I was at probably the lowest point in my life. But I came over here and I saw Dr. Edson, and that was like now that I look back on it, it was a new beginning for me. It was the beginning of a whole new life, a rebirth, of just, I'm not sure how to put it. It changed my life for the better. He examined me and ran tests and all that, and came back and said, well, I think I can help you. We can't fix it 100%, but I think I can buy you a few years. Well, you know, it's not 100% guaranteed because of what you have and how bad it is, but I'll try. And he tried, and what he wound up doing was doing some roto-rootering and some stents. So what had happened, the femoral arteries in both of my legs, the main big arteries in both of my legs, were 100% blocked. No flow, never going to be flow again, forget about it. But you have other arteries, smaller ones, in your legs that can handle it as long as they don't clog up, and mine were starting to clog up, right? And but that wasn't the worst of it, as bad as that was. In my groin, where the main carotid artery, I guess, or femoral artery, whatever it is, the big artery drops down from your heart, it splits off into a Y into your femoral arteries. All of that right in there, in that main intersection, was all blocked up really bad. And that's where he did roto-rootering and put some stents in, and got blood flow back to the top of my legs, where they could flow better through those collateral arteries. When I came in for my surgery, or prior to surgery, there was no detectable pulse in my ankles. Even with one of those sonar machines sliding it all around on my feet and ankles, they could find no pulse. So after the surgery, the day after the surgery, they come in and they do that same thing, and you could hear blood flow, yay. So anyway, since that time, he has told me you can build new collateral arteries in your legs by exercising, by walking. You got to get out there and walk. So I went from, at that time, my peak weight back then was 282. When I weighed in this, I weighed 198 today. What is that? 84 pounds. And I had lost more than that. I was close to have lost 100 pounds, but I've gained some back. That's okay. I'm doing fine. Here's the good news. This is the very special thing that happened. What he told me has turned out to be true. Okay, they measure by those tests in my legs. At one point, I forget the exact numbers now. He let me take pictures of what's on his screen, and when I edit this video, I'll show those. But the blood flow, the percentage of normal blood flow to my legs, which when we started this was in the 20s. And that's to the top of my legs, not to my ankle. It was low, it was bad, it was critical. After surgery, I was up around the 40s to the 50s, depending on the year and the leg and all that stuff, different numbers through these times. But the surgery made it better. And then last year was even better. Anyway, the bottom line is this year, I'm at like 60 something percent in one leg and 70 something percent in one leg. And my vascular surgeon is like, wow. He's just blown away. He says, this is incredible. And he told me, he said, you're a success story, and we don't get many of those. A lot of times what he's saying is he does surgery and he keeps people going where they can do the minimal, you know, and still get around, you know, get up and go to the bathroom, or maybe save them having their limbs amputated for a year or 2 or 3 or whatever. But he said, and he told me, some of them, they think exercise is getting up and going to the kitchen to get a beer. And he said, but you did what you needed to do. And he's so happy, and I'm so happy. It was a really cool visit. He is like, I'm absolutely blown away. He's like, these numbers, and he's pulling them up on the screen, and he's like, look at this. He told me, get your camera, take a picture. He knows I'm a YouTuber, but he doesn't want me on camera, and he doesn't want me videoing my visit with him, and I'm okay with that. So anyway, you know, this has turned into its own video, so I'm gonna stop. This is gonna be about the hospital visit, and I do want to publish this because I've shared my story with so many people, my journey and everything, and I've so many times, and I want to do it now, is to encourage people. If you've eaten yourself into immobility, which I did, it was just eating, and a lot of that was from depression. You know, you're trying to fill that void. I just always stuffing my mouth with food. And if you eat more calories than you burn, you know, and so you eat too much, and you get overweight, and then it's harder to walk, to exercise, so you burn less calories, and you're on the bad end of it in both ways. So if you do the opposite, if you eat less and you lose weight, and now you're able to walk, and you build that muscle, you regain your mobility, even if it's walking 50 feet, and then the next day 100 feet, and set those incremental, achievable goals, meet that goal, and set the goal a little bit higher. That's what I did. I did incremental goals. Each 10-pound thing, I'm gonna get down to 270. I'm gonna get down to 260. When I was at 260, all right, next stop, 250 pounds, 240, 230, 220, and on and so on. And then walking. I walked to the end of my street and back to my house. That's as far as I could go. And I did that 5 times a day, and then 10 times a day, and then around the block, and then twice around the block, and then a half a mile, and then I went and walked a mile with my daughter. This took months to build those muscles back up, the muscle tone, losing weight, walking further and further all the time. I can walk for miles now, not hundreds of feet. And I was nearly to the point of not being able to walk at all. And I'm not exaggerating any of this. This is my story. This is what happened to me. And I want to share it to encourage people. It's possible. You have to turn it around before it's too late. But you can do it. And I see people, and I don't make fun of them or feel any animosity toward them. I understand. I see people in the grocery store that are using those little carts, and because they're so heavy they can't walk around and buy groceries, and they're using that electric cart to go down through there and get Cheetos and Snickers bars and stuff. And I'm like, oh, you can do better. Your life could be so much better. But I get it. I was there. I did it too. I did that. I mean, I didn't use the electric carts, but I did something very similar for about 2 or 3 years there, maybe a little more. I did curbside pickup, where I just pulled up there and they loaded my groceries in my vehicle for me. I'd get home and I could manage to get them put up, you know, but I couldn't walk around in the grocery store like I do today. I don't know, you can do it. I did it. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep walking. This just changed my life so much for the better. I told him, I said, I scaled Enchanted Rock with my friend. He encouraged me I could do it. You know what Enchanted Rock is? And he said, I sure do. He thought it was pretty cool. So thank you, Kevin, at Hiking with Jackie Boy, for encouraging me to do that and inviting me to go to Enchanted Rock. Well, I'm going to hit the trail again soon. All right, I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going on enough. I'm sitting here. I'm going to go in and ask him here at the Old Jody's if I can make a video about their restaurant that I love, and see if they're okay with that. And I'm going to have a little bit of lunch here, and then I'm going over to the Railroad Museum, where I understand they've got a really cool exhibit going on, and see if I can live stream maybe. We'll see. Been a great day for me so far, and I hope you have a great day. Treat other people the way that you want to be treated, including the critters. And this is Todd. See you later. Vaya con Dios, my friends.